자유분방한 바람둥이라나.
엄마, 발레하는 거 보여줄게.
잠깐 미나야.
At the beginning of the first episode, we see Ji-woo and her daughter Mina visiting Kmart. Ji-woo receives a message on her phone that her job application result has been announced, but she is unable to read the message due to a lack of internet. Meanwhile, Mina disappears, making Ji-woo worried. She starts looking for her and eventually finds Mina in the toy section and asks her to stay close. Mina says she wants a doll, but after seeing the price, Ji-woo reminds her that she bought her a doll last time and says she is busy today, so they should leave it for next time. When Ji-woo puts the doll back on the rack, she notices a card lying on the floor. She picks it up and discovers it's a Wheel of Fortune tarot card. At that moment, she receives a notification on her phone and learns that she has passed the document screening for the cashier staff recruitment at Kmart. That night, Ji-woo tells Mina the story of Tinkerbell, and when Mina asks if fairies really exist, Ji-woo tells her that we all have a fairy in our hearts. She explains that if someone says there are no fairies, they disappear at that moment. So, she encourages Mina to continue believing in fairies. Ji-woo then asks, "Didn't she play with Lily today?" To which Mina responds, "Lily only comes when no one else is around." She then tells her that Lily is in their house and is inside her wardrobe right now. Perplexed and concerned, Ji-woo goes to check the wardrobe, but doesn't see anyone there. And suddenly, Mina says she can't look at her as she gets shy. The next day, Ji-woo shares with her mother that Mina is very good at making up lies, so she thinks she will make her a novelist later. Later, Ji-woo goes for the job interview, where she tells manager Choi that she worked part-time at a convenience store for about 3 months during college. He informs her that this job is completely different from working at a convenience store, and that she will start working from Christmas, which is tomorrow. She calls her mom and asks if she can drop Mina off at her house on Christmas, since it's her first day of work. Her mom questions what kind of company makes her work on holidays. Ji-woo explains that it's a part-time job, and when her mom reminds her that she advised against taking a low-paying job, Ji-woo asks what else she should do, as she has no other way to find money for the next month. That night, Ji-woo tells Mina that she has to go to work tomorrow and asks if she can be alone at home. Mina asks if she can bring Lily, and Ji-woo agrees. Ji-woo then instructs her that if someone rings the doorbell or knocks on the door, she must never open it, because if a stranger comes in, Lily will be embarrassed. The next day, Ji-woo's co-worker tells her that if a customer leaves an item, she should take it directly to the customer service center and report it. However, many people don't come looking for their lost items. So, when she finds something left behind, she should keep it under the counter, and in a few days, they will take care of it. Later, Ji-woo processes a customer's purchase. Soon, she notices that the customer has forgotten one of her items and tries to call out to her, but the customer has already left. Ji-woo sees that it is the same doll that Mina insisted on buying, and she places it under the counter. She then calls Mina to check on her and asks if she is having fun with Lily. Mina replies that today she is with a friend who isn't Lily, and when Ji-woo asks who, Mina says it's Santa Claus. Ji-woo asks if she opened the door, to which Mina responds that she didn't, but Santa came down the chimney. Concerned, Ji-woo later texts Mina, and Mina replies that Santa gave her a gift. Ji-woo asks what Santa is like, and Mina says he is big and has a lot of beard. Ji-woo asks if his beard is white, and if he's wearing red clothes too, to which Mina replies no. Suddenly, Choi interrupts and asks Ji-woo if she came here for lunch or to check her cell phone. Later, Ji-woo texts Mina that she is leaving soon and asks her to tell Santa to leave now. But Mina replies that she is going through a transformation right now. Suddenly, Choi asks Ji-woo what she is doing. Ji-woo asks if she can go home, explaining that she has someone in trouble to which Choi responds that she begged for a job and now wants to leave. He gives her 35 minutes to go and return as quickly as possible, but warns that if she's late, she shouldn't expect to work there in the future. Ji-woo is forced to call her husband Jung and tells him that Mina is in danger. She gives him the password to their house and asks him to check on her, but Jung responds that he is currently out of the country. Ji-woo, frustrated, says she is home alone on Christmas Day while he is traveling with just any woman. Soon after, Ji-woo receives a video call from Mina, and Ji-woo expresses her concern, saying she was worried about her. Mina replies that she wants to show her how to do ballet and starts dancing. However, Ji-woo's worry grows, and she asks Mina who is filming her. But suddenly, the call disconnects. Ji-woo goes to Choi and asks if he can let her leave early today. He agrees, but tells her that she can quit whenever she wants. And then he says they should discuss what needs to be addressed first. She explains that the customer had forgotten it, and she left it at the register because she thought the customer would return for it. Choi asks what she learned from handling a forgotten item from a customer, to which she replies that it should be put in the customer service center. Choi then points out that she hasn't eaten, was caught texting, stayed in the bathroom for 10 minutes, and still hasn't managed her time well. Ji-woo explains that her daughter is home alone, and she's worried because she can't reach her. Suddenly, her phone rings, and Choi snatches it, telling her to concentrate when someone is speaking. She asks for her phone back, but Choi accuses her of stealing the doll and tells her to wait while he checks the CCTV footage. They check the camera, and the person there tells Choi that it's hard to determine if Ji-woo is stealing, and they can't blame her because the item was placed inside the store. Ji-woo says she will go to the police station to report that he took her phone and that she will sue him. Scared, Choi returns her phone, and before leaving, Ji-woo warns Choi that if anything happens to Mina, she will come back and kill him. She calls Mina, who tells her that she played with Santa Claus all afternoon. Ji-woo asks her to explain what she actually did, but Mina continues to talk about Santa Claus. Frustrated, Ji-woo starts scolding Mina, forcing her to admit that there is no one else at home. Ji-woo returns home and becomes worried when she sees that Mina is not in her room, but then considers that she might be playing hide and seek like last time. She starts looking for her, and thinking that she might be hiding inside the wardrobe, opens it to surprise her, but to her shock, she finds a drawing instead. Scared, Ji-woo picks up the drawing and sees it depicts a satanic Santa taking her daughter with him. Concerned for her daughter, Ji-woo begins searching the house, and after a while, she finds the dress Mina was wearing during their video call. Under the dress, Ji-woo discovers a Peter Pan storybook, and she recalls telling Mina that everyone has a fairy in their hearts. But if someone says there are no fairies, they disappear in that moment. In a flashback, it's revealed that when Ji-woo was scolding Mina on the phone, no one was listening because the number she was calling did not exist. When she spoke with her mother also suggested that she stop talking about Mina. Similarly, when she called her husband, he requested that she stop mentioning Mina, as he was also struggling with the difficulty of Mina's death. Ji-woo has been imagining the existence of her beloved daughter all this time. She finally realizes that Mina is not there, and the episode ends with Ji-woo asking Mina where she is. The second episode begins with Kyung in a hotel, telling his wife on the phone that he is out for a team dinner. His wife asks him to take a taxi and come home quickly. Just then, Kyung's mistress Joo-hee enters the bathroom, prompting Kyung to tell his wife that his manager is there, and he quickly disconnects the call. He then begins getting ready to leave, but Joo-hee warns him that if he goes now, she will call his wife directly. Kyung picks up his pen and starts clicking it, to which Joo-hee asks him to stop, saying it's annoying. He puts the pen in his pocket and tells Joo-hee not to do this, because his wife has a difficult personality, and it won't be good for her if rumors spread. Joo-hee continues to threaten him, and Kyung responds by asking if she thinks she's the only one he has. We then see him leaving the hotel, and as he puts his keycard in a box, his hand gets cut by a card, and when he checks it, he finds that it is the Fool Tarot card. Kyung takes a taxi and lies to his wife that he is not getting a taxi, and we see the taxi driver is listening to all his conversations. After disconnecting the call, he gives his phone to the taxi driver to put it on charge. The driver asks him why he was lying, to which Kyung explains that he got fired from his job and he couldn't tell his wife. The driver says it's okay because they all lie and adds that women interfere a lot in what is done abroad and they all hate it. Just then, a delivery boy overtakes them very quickly, which angers the driver. He increases the speed of the car, goes ahead of the delivery boy, and starts hurling abuses at him. Kyung asks for his phone, but the driver says it's not on yet. Kyung finds his words strange as he expresses his anger towards the people of that country, and is further shocked when Kyung sees a tattoo on his neck. Kyung tries to check his bag, but the driver spots him and says it's his car only, and that the photo on his license isn't updated. The driver then takes another route, and when Kyung asks if they are on the right route, he says he has some work to do. Kyung gets scared and starts clicking his pen to calm himself down, and after a while, the driver stops the car in the middle of a forest. The driver then gets out of the car to call someone, and while he is talking, Kyung sneaks up behind him to listen. The driver is discussing selling a liver and kidneys to someone, and upon hearing this, Kyung becomes alarmed, feeling that the driver has trapped him and is talking about him on the phone. Kyung tries to run away but falls, causing the driver to realize he is behind him. The driver asks if he heard what he said, and Kyung denies it. The driver brings him back to the car, and when Kyung tries to reach for his phone, he finds that it's not charged. Kyung asks, "Who is coming?" and the driver replies that it's just a person who buys things. Hearing this, Kyung takes out his pen and stabs the driver with it until he dies. Kyung throws the driver's dead body out of the car, and when he tries to leave, he finds that the car's tire is stuck in a pothole. When Lee and his partner arrive, Kyung meets them as a driver because they have never met before, and he first asks for their help in pulling the car out of the pothole. After the car is freed, Kyung shows them the driver's dead body, and Lee and his partner are shocked. They ask Kyung to open the trunk, and while they check it, Kyung calls his wife and lies, saying that an accident occurred suddenly. Meanwhile, Lee and his partner find the dead body of a deer in the trunk, and when Kyung comes out and sees the deer, he quickly realizes that the driver was talking about the deer, not him. Lee's partner asks if they should report this, but Lee suggests they should catch Kyung first. Lee tells Kyung that they need his help moving the body, and when Kyung hesitates, Lee insists that someone has to do it as it needs to be prepared. Kyung reluctantly helps them throw the deer into their van, and while they are moving the deer, Lee's partner attacks Kyung. However, Kyung manages to free himself by poking his fingers in Lee's partner's eyes, and then runs away. Lee and his partner go after him and warn him that if he don't show up, they will call the police. Hearing this, Kyung attacks them from behind and kills them. After this, he puts all 3 dead bodies in the taxi and sets it on fire. Kyung somehow makes it to the road, where a police officer approaches him and asks him to come with him. Kyung asks why, and the officer responds that he will explain as they go along. The scene shifts to reveal that Joo-hee has been killed, and Kyung admits to the police officer that it was in self-defense. In a flashback, we see Joo-hee calling Kyung's wife and telling her that she has a deep relationship with Kyung, and that he just told her she isn't the only one. Furious, Kyung stabs Joo-hee with a pen, killing her. However, when he checks her phone, he discovers that Joo-hee was faking the call to threaten him. Kyung tells the officer that Joo-hee had been threatening him for a while, saying that she will tell his wife about their affair. He also claims that Joo-hee conspired with the taxi driver to kill him and sell his organs. Kyung explains that he tried to stay quiet, but to protect himself and his family, he had to take drastic measures. The officer tells Kyung to repeat this story at the police station, and hearing this, Kyung starts clicking his pen nervously. When the officer asks about the clicking, Kyung attacks him, causing the car to lose balance and crash. Kyung survives the crash and contacts his wife, who accuses him of lying too much today and informs him that their daughter Ram mentioned she fought with a friend at school and was waiting for her father. Ram asks Kyung why he didn't come, and he replies that he had a hard time getting off work. Kyung then asks Ram why she fought, and she explains that the teacher misunderstood the situation. When he presses for the truth, she admits that her friend hit her first, but she hit her more in return. Kyung praises her and reassures her that he will be home soon. He then takes out his pen and the tarot card and throws them into a locker at the subway station before leaving. The next episode begins with a delivery guy named Dongin at the same subway station for a delivery. He opens a locker and finds the High Priestess's tarot card inside it, and when he calls the customer, he discovers that it was just a prank by a kid. We then see Dongin with other delivery guys, and his friend Ki-hoon calls him the king of delivery. Ki-hoon asks why he works so much, to which Dongjin replies that he wants to earn more money and open his own delivery company. The next day, Dongjin learns that the High Priestess's card symbolizes intelligence and leadership, suggesting that he has the potential to be a wise advisor or a good friend, bringing great luck if he embraces these qualities. Later, Dongjin goes to deliver an order, where a plump girl receives it and mentions she's going to eat with her friends. As he's leaving, she stops him and asks if he is going through a difficult time. He replies that delivery work is tough, to which she offers him a glass of water. Dongjin takes the glass and initially hesitates to drink it, but he finally drinks it. However, as he leaves, he wonders why the water was salty. The next day, Dongjin goes to deliver an order to that girl again, and she offers him a bun to eat, but he declines. He then pretends to get a call, but the girl points out that his phone didn't ring. She gives him a tip, which he accepts, and she tells him that she will order every day at 6:55, so he should always accept her delivery. That evening, Dongjin goes to the same address again, wondering why he keeps coming here despite the urgency. The girl opens the door, gives him a tip, and asks if he has a girlfriend. He takes the tip and asks why she's curious about that now. The girl tries to seduce him, but he tells her to grab her order and go inside quickly. She says if he likes someone else, she won't insist and mentions that love means making sacrifices for each other. She adds that he is quiet, like her ideal person, but he responds that he talks a lot and once spent 4 hours talking alone at a cafe with his friends. The girl says she thinks it's okay to talk a lot and asks if he wants to come inside, to which he throws the tip back at her, saying not to call him again, and leaves. However, after the girl goes inside, leaving the tip on the ground, Dongjin returns and picks it up. The next day, Dongjin gets a call from Ki-hoon, who tells him that girl has been calling every 30 minutes, asking for him. Dongjin firmly says he is not going to her house again, and asks Ki-hoon to stop calling him about it. Later, Dongjin's friend asks him if he's sure the deliveries are going well, and Dongjin assures him they are. Just as he's about to leave to deliver an order, he receives a call from the headquarters of Food Call. They inform him that a customer has filed a complaint against him for sexual harassment. Dongjin vehemently denies the accusation, but he is told that, due to regulations, his delivery orders will be cancelled until the complaint is resolved. Frustrated, Dongjin goes to the girl's house and asks if she thinks her actions are right. She responds by saying that she told him she wanted to see him every day, but he ignored her. Dongjin, desperate, asks her to cancel her complaint and promises to answer her call every day. She brings out a trash bag and asks him to throw it in the trash. Dongjin finds a 10,001 tip on the bag and takes it away, wondering why she's doing this. As he's about to throw the bag away, he notices some stains on his shoe, dripping from the bag, and this frustrates him even more. The next evening, Dongjin tells the girl that something strange fell out of the trash the last time he took it out, but she puts another bag out and quickly shuts the door. Dongjin goes to throw the packet, and wondering what's inside it, he opens it to check, only to get shocked to see a piece of raw meat in it. The next day, Dongjin asks Ki-hoon if there is a missing delivery person in their neighborhood, to which Ki-hoon informs him that a boy named Lee Won has been missing for 2 weeks. Dongjin is shocked and tells Ki-hoon that he found raw meat in the girl's trash, and it had a strange smell. He says he said he was in a lab before doing this, and Ki-hoon tells him that his specialty is biotechnology. Dongjin asks is there any way to distinguish between animal blood and human blood? The next time Dongjin visits the girl, he brings a piece of the meat with him, and using a human blood clot kit provided by Ki-hoon, he tests the blood from the meat and discovers that it is indeed human blood. Dongjin shares his findings with Ki-hoon, and they both suspect that the girl may have murdered the missing delivery boy. Ki-hoon suggests that Dongjin should retrieve another piece of meat from the girl's house for further investigation, And if he doesn't do this, he will report the situation to the authorities. That evening, Dongin receives an order from the girl, and before leaving, he grabs a knife for his safety, but then decides against taking it with him. When he arrives at the building, he finds instructions to leave the order at the door and not enter the house. Upon reaching her apartment, Dongin rings the bell but gets no response. And when he checks the door, he finds it open. Feeling uneasy, he enters the house and immediately, he is hit by a strange smell. As he investigates further, he is horrified to discover the house is filled with human flesh, and his shock deepens when he recognizes a tattoo on one of the pieces of flesh. A tattoo he had seen on the girl's arm. Dongin gets sick with the horrible sight, and a girl asks, does he likes skinny girls? He calms himself and asks, who is she? And the girl again asks, does he likes thin women? He asks, does he knows her? To which she asks, does she looks like his ideal type now? Dongjin is shocked to see that girl like this, and she thanks him for coming here. Frustrated, he asks if she is crazy. The girl begins to move towards him, and as he backs off, his leg gets trapped in a trap, causing him to fall. The girl approaches Dongin, saying that her ideal type is a quiet man, and that love means making sacrifices for each other. She then moves towards him with a scalpel, asking where she should start to be beautiful. And as she gets closer, the scene cuts to Dongin's terrified screams. Next, a delivery boy comes to deliver dog treats at the same address. He rings the bell but hears a female voice saying it's open, so he can come in. He enters the house and asks if can he leave it here, but he is asked to come in further. The man enters and notices Dongin there tied to a chain like a dog, and he pours his food into a tube because his mouth is sewn. The delivery boy gets terrified. Dongjin gestures for him to stay silent, but the delivery boy runs away in fear. Dongjin then tries to drink water from the tube and looks at the camera with a desperate gesture to be quiet, and the movie ends with this chilling scene. Thanks for facing the frights with us. If you survived this video, drop a like, summon that subscribe button, and brace yourself for more horror. Until next time, stay spooked.